Ready, girls.
That's fabulous. Wow.
This show is for entertainment purposes only, and we're not able to respond to any health questions because we are not health practitioners. Welcome to All About You, and thank you very much, viewers, for joining us on a Tuesday night. We couldn't be on last night because it was the long weekend Queen's birthday holiday, so we hope that you had a fantastic long weekend, and we're looking forward to having a great night tonight with you. We have the fabulous Sheila Vejarasa. Welcome back.
Thanks, Viv. It's great to be back.
So good to have you back. And also Kay Himwood, so lovely to have you back. It's been a little while, so thank you for joining us again.
It's great to be back. Thank you.
Awesome. Now, Steve will be joining us next week. He's had a few weeks off because I'm going overseas to the United States, to Los Angeles for a few weeks. So we're playing tag team. He's had his break and he'll be back next week, and then I'll see you a few weeks after that. Now, I just want to remind you that All About You has introduced the voice message service. Now, the number for that is 1-900-990-990. The details are on the screen. You can see the graphics. 1-900-990-990. Follow the prompts, leave your first name, date of birth, and your specific question. Now, this voice message service replaces the email request, and the call cost is $4.35 for your opportunity to receive a reading. Every voice message we receive will go into the bonus draw for an opportunity of a reading of a lifetime with Lisa Williams on July 24. So just to recap, for a reading with our panel, call 1900-990-990, and you will go in for that bonus draw for the opportunity for a reading with Lisa Williams July 24, which is a huge opportunity. We're so looking forward to having her join us on the show. It's very, very exciting. I've seen Lisa Williams in person, and she is accurate, brilliant, funny, entertaining, and a joyful personality. And it's going to be an absolute joy to have her join us on the show. Very, very excited. I'm equally as excited, though, to have these beautiful young ladies with us this evening. How are you, Sheila?
Well, Viv, how are you?
Good. Now, what have you been up to of late? Just working away?
Working away. To be honest, I had a really relaxing long weekend. I think you get to this time of the year and we've indulged a little, we've set goals, we've worked hard, and I just think you need to unwind. So I had 4 days off and I did very little. And I've just moved in with my partner, so we're settling into a home and grounding and trying to create new roots. I'm just in an exciting phase.
I have to say, I saw a photo on Facebook. It looks gorgeous. Your place looks divine.
Yeah, we're creating a home together and going through that transition, which is exciting. And, there's a lot of new. Honeymooners change. So, yeah, a great weekend.
And who got to keep the furniture and who got to get rid of theirs?
We've been really fair and we've had a really good chat about it. So we've kind of done half and half to make sure the space feels like it's both of us.
Are you different styles?
We're different, but we both like each other's styles. And I think over a time as a couple, you kind of merge in some ways.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of liking his stuff. He's into a bit of graffiti and he's kind of edgy and he's an artist. So I'm opening, my mind to him. And I've got my little amethyst cave and all my crystals, and I'm definitely opening his mind to that kind of thing. So we're blending.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Who's the main cook?
Myself at the moment. I'm learning how to be a Stepford wife. I'm coming home in my suit and cooking. So
Are you putting an apron on?
Not really. So I'm making kind of a mess on my seat dresses. But we're learning how to share all the chores. And he's very masculine energy. I'm quite feminine. So we're actually finding our groove naturally. We've had to chat about some things, but we're naturally.
But isn't it great that you guys can actually chat?
Yeah.
Because, a lot of couples, they sit on stuff like that, and then 2 years down the track, when they've sort of, been thinking, oh, I wish you'd do a little bit of cooking for me, or I can't stand your crystal cave.
Yeah.
Those are the things that turn into the bigger ruts.
Absolutely, and I think we're going to still, vacillate and adjust, but we're kind of consciously watching how we feel, and I'm pretty sure he's doing the same. He said about that he is. So where he's listening to himself and what he's doing, and we're both talking about it.
Because you're very used to your independence, aren't you?
Yeah, and he is
like
too.
me.
And we're older, so we're older couple, a more mature couple, having had a bit of experience in this realm before coming together. So we bring a bit of wisdom and a whole lot of growth and learnings there for us both. So.
But it's still really exciting, isn't
It's
it?
exciting. It doesn't matter how old you are, you still feel like a teenager.
Is he going to be all right when you leave him on Friday to come to the fraternity club with us for
he's
the live show?
He's coming.
Oh,
to the
he's
show.
coming
Yeah, he's
as well.
coming.
Oh, that's
I wouldn't want him
awesome.
to miss it. I'm really looking forward to the show. Tickets are nearly sold out, I've been told, which is quite exciting. We've got about 20, 25 tickets left.
Is that all we've got left?
We haven't got that many. So if you're kind of sitting, thinking, oh, well, shouldn't I come in on the fence? Definitely book. But it's going to be a night really of a lot of shared wisdom. There's going to be real collective energy in the group. A lot of people are going to get readings, but I think, if you're sitting next to someone, there's a good chance you're going to connect with them. And I know in Wollongong area, there's beautiful community there. So I'd love, looking forward to it very much.
It's a very close community, and I haven't had a lot to do with Wollongong. I've only been there really once or twice, and I just find everybody so friendly down there. Everybody knows everyone. It's got that real familiar feel.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great night. Now, tickets are $55 each. We've only got 25 seats left. So please jump in if you want to. If you're sitting on the fence, get off the fence, get on the computer, go to www.allaboutyouse.com, follow the prompts to purchase the tickets. Buy 3, get 1 free. And we'll see you down there at Fairy Meadow on Friday night at 7:30. Now, Sheila, over to you.
Kay.
Oh, sorry, Sheila. Kay.
Hi.
So sorry.
We're like twins.
She hasn't seen me for that long. She's calling me Sheila.
There's only one K.
There's only 1K.
That's-
one in
that's
100
right.
million. How have you been?
I've been really good, thank you. Just taking time out, getting some readings done, meeting some people, walking on the beach, trying to keep warm.
So you live near the beach, don't you?
I do, on the Central Coast, and I love it.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're walking distance to the beach?
Yes, definitely, yeah. Across the road and down the road a little bit. Yeah.
And the same thing, that's a really lovely little community area where everyone knows everybody, and it's got that really
Sure
lovely
is.
vibe. My girlfriend
It's a little
lived
bit
there.
boring, but it's good sometimes. Yeah, it needs some more entertainment there. Booker Bay on the Central Coast, yeah.
Oh, okay, Booker Bay
Yeah.
on the Central Coast.
yeah.
But, that's my favourite thing is walking along the beach. I have to say, I live just across the road from the beach, and it's one of my greatest joys. I'll do it in the morning, I'll do it in the afternoon, I'll do it in winter, I'll do it in summer. It's just my peace.
And
It's my chill out time.
So healing, just the sound of the waves,
Can you hear them from your
Yes,
place?
yeah.
Lucky
Isn't that
you.
beautiful in the dead of night and the still of night, just hearing
yes.
the waves?
Yeah.
The best. Well, a little bit
lovely.
later this evening, you're going to be actually taking a call from one of our voice messages. So one of our viewers who's called in and left a voice message. So we bring you the phone and you actually get to speak to them in person. The same for you, Sheila. So we're looking forward to that.
Excellent. That'll be really good.
Okay, now we have got viewer questions. We've got quite a few to get through tonight. So as we say before, the ones that haven't called in, they're more snapshot readings, and just so that we can get through as many as possible. Keep coming in, guys, with your messages, and we'll get to you eventually. So let's go straight over to you, Kay. We have Katie. Now, Katie is born on the 19th of the 6th, 1991. Her
Okay.
question is, my grandmother passed away some time ago, and I think she's around me as I feel and sense it, or is it wishful thinking?
Okay, thank you. Okay, thanks, Katie, for tuning in and joining us tonight on the show. I do feel that your grandmother is definitely around you in spirit, but because you're still mourning the loss of her in a really deep-seated way, I feel that you may have a few blinkers on and you're not really receiving the signs from spirit. You need to be really, really particular about what you ask for. You can light a candle yourself at night and speak to those on the other side. That's usually the best thing to do, and ask them exactly what you need them to do. okay, to show that they're there and next to you and supporting and guiding you, okay, but they're definitely around you, your grandmother and other people in your soul family, okay. You need to remember that you have some really good ideas, okay. Nothing's impossible. You need to do some work on your self-esteem, I feel, particularly at the moment while you're really mourning. You need to get down to the beach, spend some quality time in nature, write your feelings and stresses down on paper, get them out of your head, okay, but be really specific in what you want to see and the signs that you need from your loved ones on the other side, okay. You definitely need to look beneath the surface and think of, you know, look at things from a different perspective, okay? Step outside the box and listen to what they're playing on the songs on the radio, for example. You know, everything. You can feel people next to you, you know, sitting in the seat next to you as you're driving. That's a really good sign too that your loved ones are around you. Okay. They're telling me that for some reason you think you're running out of time, all right? I'm telling you that you're not. You've got plenty of time to open your third eye and to do some work on your own psychic ability, okay, and your gut instinct, okay. They're showing me that in the next couple of months you're going to feel an overwhelming happiness feeling and feeling of charge, like inner strength come over you, okay. And I feel that they're just showing me psychically, it's like your wings are new and they've come out of the cocoon, okay, and they're really brightly coloured. So you're ready to do a lot more things, a lot of new things. Have a look at what opportunities are available to you, okay. But they're showing me, for some reason, I feel that you need to get out there and spend some time with the people that you love. Okay, that's really important that you make those connections and have those connections, all right, with people. You need to have things to look forward to. So, but they're saying to me, don't forget, all right, that things flow, you like things to flow, all right? Don't overthink things and don't worry too much about everything, because the more you spend quality time in nature, things are just going to fall into place for you, all right? Okay, so thank you.
Thank you, Kate. And over to you now, Sheila.
Okay.
We have Sue Ellen. Mm-hmm. Sue Ellen is born on the 1st of the 7th, 1983. Mm-hmm. Now, Sue Ellen's having problems with her partner. Mm-hmm. She really actually wants to know whether she should stay for the children or if she should leave.
Okay. Okay, Sue Ellen, so thank you for your question. I can't imagine how conflicting this question must be for you, because I get a sense that you grew up, I'm saying lack, so there was a lack of stability in your upbringing, and there's a real desire now to correct that, and that was your intention in being with this man, being with this partner and having children. I'm getting a tick in terms of staying, but I just think that's the end result. I think we need to sort of backpedal. I'm going to ask Spirit for what's the process to stay for the children. I get the fact that I'm getting 7, 9, 10, so I feel like the children are young still, and there's a need for parents to be around them both, and you both can contribute in different ways for the children's emotional well-being. But in staying in the relationship, Spirit's asking me to ask you what's it going to take for you to feel whole and complete in the relationship? And there might be a reliance right now in the relationship to give you a little bit more than the relationship's giving you, because you're seeking that from the relationship, where you should be seeking this from an external source within yourself, which feels external to you, because it's not with the partner that you're desiring it from. There's fatigue and tiredness I'm getting, those words have just come to me, because you've really worked at it and you've been working at this relationship. But they're also showing me you've been working at it in one way, in one angle, and I feel like there's a tiredness. You've gone around in a circle with respect to the issue in the relationship. There's a need for you to look at the issue that you're trying to address in the relationship in another way, and that's where there's some growth for you in staying. And there's some growth for the children to look at you to be another way in the relationship and for yourself. And there's a daughter, that feel like you do have a daughter, and she's looking up to you as not just a mother, but just as a woman that can take care of herself and be very strong and empowered. So there's something there that you also could teach your daughter in this relationship. So I don't think it's quite walk away time yet. I feel like there's things there you can work on yourself within the relationship. You'll really know when it's walk away time, because I don't feel you are. So that's what they're telling me. But you're not there yet. There's still some, I'm looking within. You will know walk away, because they're telling me you won't ask. You'll just know. You've been that way in previous decisions in your life. So, and you may not get to a walk-away point in this relationship. I felt like I had to say that to you. You can stay and work on this by working on yourself, for the sake of, definitely the daughter is affected by this decision as well, for you to consider there. So all the best to you, Sue Ellen. I really feel like you're going to get through this, but it's going to be a little bit focused on self-care, and on looking at the relationship in a little bit different way, and really looking at yourself and how you can take a better care of yourself. So thank you, Sue Ellen, and all the best to you.
Really lovely individual advice to both of the ladies that you've read for. Now, Kay, we have Karen Barnwell has called in. So this is a phone reading that's come through from one of our voice messages. So I'm just going to pop this on speakerphone, introduce you to Karen, and then ask you. Now, she basically just wants a general reading at the moment to see if there's anything that pops up, anything that you can see in her life at the moment. So, hi, Karen. How are you doing? Hello, Karen? Hello, Karen?
Yes, hello.
Hi, how are you doing? It's Vivian Summers.
Hi, Vivian. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm just going to pass you over to Kay now for your reading.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye-bye. There
Bye-bye.
you go.
Hi, Karen. Thank you.
Hi, Kay. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Awesome.
It's really good to speak to you on the phone, to do a phone reading on the show. I'm really excited about that.
Yes, thank you very much.
Fabulous. So you would like me to do a general reading for you, would you?
Yes, please.
Okay. If you've got anything else, any questions you'd like to ask or anything, just speak up, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Could I have your date of birth again, please, darling?
Yeah, 28th of the 8th, 73.
Okay. Fabulous. Thank you, Karen. All right. Okay. I'm getting a really frustrated feeling as I tune into you and put the cards out. There's frustration around you and a lot of worry, I feel. But I'm getting the sense that a lot of the worry is unnecessary, because things are going to be fine. And you need to ask Spirit, okay, for guidance, and see how you feel in your gut, in yourself, in your own body, because usually that will tell you how you are. You know, if there's anything wrong in your life, it usually comes out through your body. We feel it.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. For some reason I'm seeing that you've got some really great ideas, but I don't really feel that you have the self-esteem to sort of pull things off. It's like you think, oh no, I can't do that, or that won't succeed, you know. You really need to work on your self-esteem And I'm feeling also that you've been, alienating yourself. It's like locking yourself in a cage or in a cave away from everyone. And they're showing me that you need to be more social, okay? Because you're just yearning for that contact with people, and I feel that will really lift your spirits, okay?
Yes.
Also, I'm seeing you spending a lot more time in nature, okay? Slowing down, really going through your priorities, right? And putting them first, second, third, and getting rid of anything that other people can do for themselves, okay? You need to start putting up some boundaries so people don't always ask you and expect you to do things for them. I just feel that they're independent and, they can do their own stuff. You need to put yourself first, your self-love first, and I don't know if you're living near the ocean, but I'm actually seeing dolphins. I'm looking out a big glass window, and I'm seeing dolphins in the ocean and that sort of thing. So I would say if you're not actually living near the ocean, you're going to be thinking of relocating in the next couple of years because the ocean's actually pulling you towards it. Okay.
I don't live near the ocean at the minute.
You don't live near the ocean at the minute?
No.
Okay. That's okay.
But we would love to.
Okay. All right. I'm picking up family squabbles or family problems around you that need to be sorted out. Goodness me, can't speak tonight. It's like there are undercurrents of frustration with family members that, oh goodness me, it's like hidden agendas they're showing me with their relationships and so forth. Okay, so I would say you're the concrete that sticks everything together, okay, and brings people together. You're going to continue to actually do that in the next few months, and I think it will be really important to bring the family and friends together also that you haven't seen in a while. Okay. Do you have any questions for me while I've got you here? No? Okay. Money. Now they're showing me money. All right. There is some worry or stress about money, but they're showing me everything's going to be okay. There's no actual, it's like overthinking things, worrying that things are going to be worse than they are. Okay, money. I'd say get yourself a lottery ticket because I'm getting gold, raining gold, gold rain, and that for me is money, really good health, good relationships, family relationships, everything. Okay?
Yep. Awesome.
I'm also getting a feeling around your heart, okay?
Yes.
They're showing me heart. I don't know if you've got something in your heart. What's it called? a stint or stent or something, but they're giving me some sort of problem with your heart. And I would say if you haven't been to the doctor, if you haven't had a checkup for some time, I would urge you to go and have your heart checked out and your chest area checked out, okay? But
Yes,
that's the only...
I do have heart issues.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, and I know you don't do health stuff, but I have had some major health issues around my chest going on.
Okay, yeah, there's a tightness. I can't seem to...
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's actually going to get better and improve, I feel, definitely. Okay, but you need to let yourself heal, darling. You're trying to do too much and you're trying to look after everyone else. Okay, self-love is so important. You need to heal. Put your needs first and slow down. Okay, ask your family members and friends for help.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But
So
things...
it's been a process I've been actually doing over the last 2 weeks.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. But I do see things are going to really pick up for you. You just need to, make a beautiful space in your home where you just feel comfortable and you've got your wind chimes and, put your pink sheets on your bed, pink for self-love, pink.
Yep.
Pink undies, pink everything, and love yourself. Green and pink are the best. Okay, because they're the love colours and the healing colours.
Mm-hmm.
So, and water, all right? Have warm baths, have warm showers to heal. That will help you heal. That is the best thing for healing. And just picture that warm water going through your head, going through your body like gold light, pushing all the toxicity, anything toxic or pain out of your body, down through your toes, through the plug hole.
Yep.
Or the drain hole, and you'll feel a lot better, okay?
Yep.
All right, darling.
Thank
Well,
you
it was
so much.
lovely talking to you, Karen. I wish you
Yes,
all
you
the
too,
best.
Thank you. You're spot on with everything.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, darling. You take care, and thank you again for tuning in tonight and for ringing
Thank you so
in.
much. Appreciate your time and energy.
Thank you so much. Bye, darling.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Lovely.
That was excellent.
Thank
I
you.
love doing the phone reading.
Whoa, oopsie.
And I've just hit voicemail.
Oh,
There you go.
we don't want to hear your voicemail, Marg's voicemail. Maybe we do. Okay, lovely, wonderful. All right, now over to you, Sheila. We have Christina.
Okay.
Christina's born on the 25th of the 9th, 1974. Okay, now this is a big one.
Okay.
Christina resigned last week from her job.
Yeah.
A knee-jerk reaction.
Yep.
Don't we all know those ones? Bosses can be very difficult, and she is not one to put up with nastiness.
Yep.
So she has an intolerance to that.
Yep.
Christina has a part-time job,
Yep.
and she's wondering if she should hold out for another job or go back to her old job in the interim. She's stretched for money, so can
Okay.
you give us some advice?
Okay. So when I tune into your vibration, Christina, the first thing that came through was to be kind to yourself. I feel like you're in a pressure cooking situation with the job where you did feel like you had a knee-jerk reaction, and they're telling me to be kind to yourself because you got to a point where you felt like you had no choice. Okay, so some reflections needed on what happened. I'm getting 50-50. So 50% you brought to the table and 50% they did. I feel like there is a gentleman they're showing me, and I feel like he's under a lot of pressure and he's not coping where you were working. And there's a girl near him that's quite timid in personality. That's out of integrity. That's all they're showing me. But you're in a position where you felt like you had nothing else there was no other choice. Now going back, they're telling me there would be possibly a repeat of that, and those feelings would flood back quite quickly. If you went back, it would feel a little bit tough, and you may not. There's a chance you could stay a little longer, but you would start looking outside again because a lot of that pressure would come back. It'd be 10 days. I feel like it'd be nice for 10 days. Apologies would be made, but then that pressure would come back. And that's okay, but Spirit's wanting me to ask you, how would you cope under that pressure? And what kind of self-reflection have you done to ensure that whatever you contributed wouldn't come up again? I hear the word mistake, and I felt like there's a process that's broken down where you've worked that needs to be fixed. So whatever's going on with your work, it goes beyond you a little bit, but it's how you are in that situation. And I feel like they're showing me you're looking in your wallet, so you're a bit concerned about money. There's a need for you. There's a part-time job I think Christina's doing, isn't there? And she's wondering if she needs to go back. I feel like there's a need for you in the part-time job. It's like you do need a bit of a break. That role did take it out of you emotionally, and they're showing me that with a little bit of financial management you can go by with a little bit less money for a little bit longer. There's a need for you to connect with friends. There's one very good friend. There's something with her hair. I see she's got dark hair, curly hair. When you look at her, it's the first thing you notice is her hair. So that friend, think about it, gives you pretty good advice, and she's someone you can go to and speak about what your next step should be. They're saying no more knee-jerk reactions. To go back might also feel like, I think it will feel like a knee-jerk reaction, just as quick as leaving did. There's a need to stop, process, and ask yourself. And I'm getting like, right now you need to do a bit of long-term planning. And I'm getting 3 years. Where do you, Christina, want to be in 3 years? And what step now will you take will get you there? Long-term planning is not something you've done a lot of. Take this as a catalyst to allow for change to happen in your life. I'm getting a B connected with this friend. And I feel like you might even think about training. You might even think about going back. And I'm not talking about doing a degree, but there might be a little bit of bridging, or you might start entertaining that. You know you're on the right track because you're getting excited about growth and about growing your mind and growing your skill set. That's how you know you've given yourself a good amount of break, that you're ready to now make much better decisions about where to go. You might actually leave this part-time, take another part-time that offers you more hours or higher income before you take a full-time role. That's what I'm being shown. I feel like doors will start to open. You need to start speaking more to more people about what you're going through. You're holding it in a little bit at the moment. You might feel like you're speaking about it a lot, but think about the quality of the conversation. Are you just venting, or are you using inquiry and asking, what would you have done? What could I have done differently? What could I learn from this? You do have resources around you. I'm now being shown a blonde girl with longer hair. Feel like you've got a mix of friends and colleagues, even where you did work before, could be impartial and allow you to learn. I don't know if you need to go back. If you do, that choice is yours. There is growth and learning if you do go back. You can sit on the fence with it. So you can go either way, and that's interesting because I feel like you'll end up, and this can happen in reading and life, you can end up where you need to be. This time really is a time to ask the right questions of the people around you. They're going to ask questions back to you, to which you will answer. And I think you're going to get a bit of insight there and wisdom for yourself. So all the best to you, Christina. I feel like whatever decision you make is going to be right for you right now. You'll get to where you need to. 3 years, I'm being told. There's a 3-year plan there for your career. You're going to get to wherever you need in 3 years. So this is a catalyst. This is an interesting time for you to really go within. So all the best to you.
That's great. And sometimes a knee-jerk reaction isn't necessarily even a knee-jerk. It's a result of, ongoing stresses or traumas or resentments or things that, And so we get to a point where we just break.
And
we just go, that's enough.
Absolutely.
I can't deal with this anymore.
And I feel like with Christina, what I just got then is you might actually look back at whatever decision happened as a real natural part of your path.
Yeah.
It may not feel so knee-jerk, and just you saying that resonated with me. It might look like a very well-planned, thought-out action that you took. Your higher self might have actually stepped in and gone, look, this is enough. I need to have a bit of self-care. Thus, you've gone to part-time, not even another full-time role. So, like I said, take the time out to really think and process.
I think some of the best things that have happened in my life, especially with my career, is when you get to a point where you just go, I'm just exhausted, or I'm this or I'm that, and it's just, you have to. But very good.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the topic of discussion, but beforehand, which that topic tonight is self-love and self-care. What a big nebulous topic.
Yep.
But there's so many aspects of self-care and self-love I think a lot of people don't really know much about. Just before we get going on that, though, because that is a little rabbit hole we're going to jump into, I wanted to say a few shout-outs for some of our viewers at home. Mitchell Coombs is watching tonight. Hello, Mitchell. Big
Hello,
kiss,
Mitchell.
big hug.
Hi,
Woo.
Mitchell.
And we have Vicky, Amanda, Kelly and Dennis. Kitty Cat. Hi, kitty cat. Hope you're feeling better soon, darling. I know it's not good. It's not good time of the year. We've all got flus, and I know that you work so hard, and I just hope you get better ASAP. All right, over to the topic of discussion. Self-love and self-care. Now, I know this gets bandied around, a lot. Oh, we need to love ourselves. It's in the Bible. You go to a psychologist, 101 psychology. It's about we need to learn self-love and self-care. How come it's one of the hardest things in the world, firstly, to understand what the hell it actually is? Because sometimes self-love and self-care can be perceived by people or even yourself as, being full of yourself or, having ego.
Yep.
What's the difference between self-love and ego and people's perceptions of that? And self-care, what actually is self-care? I think a lot of people don't even know what that is. So how can they get to a place where they're actually giving it to themselves if they don't really understand what self-care, in example form in our day-to-day life actually looks like? So firstly, what I'd like to ask you ladies is what your definition of both would be. Let's start with you, Kate.
Okay, self-care and self-love.
How would you, just in a very short definition,
Okay.
for people at home that go, well, I think I love myself, but maybe they don't. What would you say is an indication that somebody has got self-love and they do care for themselves?
Okay. All right. Self-love and self-care. It's quite a broad topic because we've got the spiritual side of us. We've got the mental side of us, and also what is oh no emotional, physical. You've got the whole
game.
thing. So you've got to realise that people can take care of other things for themselves, all right? You need to sort of be happy with your work, be happy with your kids, with your relationship, and if you can't handle those sort of things, that is actually an indicator that you're not looking after yourself properly, that your needs aren't met, because you're having burnouts, you're not having enough time out. You might be working all the time around the clock. You might be with your kids all the time, not having quality time with your mate. Okay, so there's all of these little things that you need to think about. Putting yourself first. It's all about necessity, what you need, okay, in all of those areas.
I think that's a really good subject to raise, because what I'm constantly finding with people is seems to be a balancing act. At what point is self-love self-indulgence? At what point is self-care not caring for the other people in your life that need to be cared for? Basing on what our needs are. I know what my needs are, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the needs of my family who are reliant upon me are going to have their needs met. And I think sometimes people get very much out of balance with that, or can't ask for that. I am very clear as I've got older as to what my needs are, and I need alone time. I love my own space and I love my own time. That's my self-care, the walk on the beach on a Sunday afternoon. I've got tons of friends. I have always lots of social invitations to go to places, but sometimes I'll just say, that's enough, I've had a busy week. What's your definition of it?
I think
Sheila?
I think self-indulgent tends to be less of a problem than self-care does. Self-care stems from self-love and self-worth, and that really is a foundation piece for everyone to live a fulfilled whole life. And I think we learn from our upbringing, and there's our childhood, the formative years, set a really strong precedent for how we value ourselves and how we treat ourselves. We watch mother, father, siblings, or whoever the formative people are in our lives at that point treat themselves and treat us, and what stories we make up about ourselves at that moment at that moment, you might decide, I need to be loved. I'm not lovable. I'm not pretty enough. I'm this, I'm that. So we make up stories, positive and negative, about ourselves at these times in our life, and then we carry them into our teenage years and adulthood. That's the soul journey, to experience something and to heal and grow through it. So the discovery of self-love is to untangle some of these stories and experiences we've had in our life, to learn self-worth, self-love. I've met very few people that have an incredible amount of self-love. I've met a lot of people that have a lot of self-love. I've met people that don't have self-love. So there's a whole gamut, and it depends on what area of life. It isn't quite universal.
Yeah.
You might be a bit of lack in relationship, but the career house is, I deserve that promotion, I deserve that money, but I don't quite deserve the great guy. Or I deserve the amazing marriage and the children and the great home, but I don't know if I'm good enough to have that promotion. So the self-love tank is an interesting one, and everyone needs to look into it and to understand, where am I really struggling with self-love? And then from that, build the pieces of self-care. And in that, that's to answer your question, the action is really variable. I think we don't really know what self-care looks like, because you've got to go within and go, what makes me happy? And you have to, I've had this conversation with a friend recently. She's having a breakdown. I said, the breakdown leads to a breakthrough. So I'm like, she's having a breakdown. I said, hang in there, you're going to get the breakthrough. And generally in the breakthrough, you realise in that moment, how do I take care of myself? Because you stop taking care of your emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, like you said, Kay, the whole gamut of your well-being. You might let your physical down, but emotional is really great. You might have taken care of it, emotional, physical's kind of let go. So we're constantly working. I don't think we need to work as hard as sometimes we make it. You might have a breakup in a relationship, and that's a time of healing and work. But I think if we're also easy and kind on ourselves, and find some of the small little pieces of self-care. A lot of my friends have shown me different ways. The mothers, my friends that are aunts, the people that have big jobs, they're not getting it right. We're not, me too, getting it right all the time, but let's just try and get it right a little bit at a time and find those moments of self-love and self-care, daily, weekly, monthly, break it
Hour to hour.
Hour to hour. Time's a construct, but yeah, let's just...
Yeah, it's kind of like you were saying, this is the big picture. Like, hey, you presented the big picture and you've sort of broken down the components. It reminds me of like all the little rooms inside the soul of self-care, which is inside us. And what I really thought was interesting was when you were saying, somebody might have the great job. And I see this a lot with people that are really ambitious and really successful in the corporate world or, in our industry. And they might be really confident and really believe that they can get those, achievements and hit those goals, and they do. But they might go home and live by themselves, and then they've got this issue potentially that they can't get a partner or find somebody. So I think this is a really big thing about, we can love ourselves. Some people love themselves in certain capacities in certain parts of themselves. And look, I also think society has got a little bit, as Andrew Denton used to say, society is to blame. Because, if somebody has this, comes across as confident and loving themselves, I think a lot of people, especially in the Australian mentality, it's a little bit of that put down, tall poppy mentality.
That's
where they
right.
say, they're full of themselves, or they're selfish. Rather than self-love, they're selfish.
Jealousy, that's all it is.
these
It's jealous
emotions
because
of-
people are doing well.
Or doing what they want.
That's right.
Or caring for themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that we're all, logical, pretty intelligent human beings. If
Yeah.
we've got so many years on the earth that we're still here, we have basic understandings that, if I don't do this for my partner or my family, I'm not caring for them. But you can still, within the context of that, take time for yourself to do some of those smaller things.
That's right.
And like you said, some of those smaller things are big things.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and I think we're a society where it's a challenge with what you said about Andrew Denton, society's to blame. I think society's changed so much, decade by decade, but exponentially in the last 15 years with technology. So the way we learn self-care from our parents in the generation that raised us is very different to how we self-care now, and probably the generations prior
Definitely.
and prior and prior and prior. So we're taught a way and we've got to be a way. And that's why I think it's really important to find a tribe. If you're a new mum, find your tribe of new mums. mum will show you, and dad and aunt and mother-in-law will show you a way of self-care, but some may resonate, some may not, because we're just different now. We're raised in a different time. So I really believe finding your tribe to help you on the self-care journey, where you can discuss what self-care looks like right now in this day and age.
That's such an important thing to raise. What do you think about this whole thing around the age of self-entitlement? Do you think maybe that's self-care? Because it's a different
No.
generation and it's changed and people
I
are
don't
more
think so.
open with... You don't think so?
No,
Okay.
self-entitlement is completely different to self-care, I think. Entitlement is I should be entitled to this because, you know, my parents had a house and, you know, I want the best sneakers and I want this, that and the other. God, when I was growing up, you just got what you had, you know, we're given
what
and
you were
that's
given.
it. Yeah, that's right.
Mum gave me polka dots. That's all I
We
got.
had handed
Jerseys with
down.
stripes or
Yeah,
polka
Yeah.
my mum sewed as well, and we all wore the
yeah.
same.
Well, I had a
fabric.
second-hand rusty bike, and my dad was a doctor, and Mum was the managing director, secretary at Old Sydney Town. So I don't know what was going on there, but that bike was the best thing ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
It is all relative, isn't it?
It
And you were saying
is,
before a little
definitely.
bit about self-love and self-care being the foundation.
yes.
So just
Of-
explain that. We were talking about that a little bit before.
Okay, so it's like building a house. You need to have a good foundation and a strong foundation, otherwise you're going to crumble, aren't you? If you don't get up and have breakfast, if you don't sleep properly, you don't take care of yourself, you're always thinking of other people's needs and worrying about other people, you know, then none of your needs are being met, and, you know, then you can't think about what you would like to achieve because you're so busy worrying about other people's needs, you know. So, yeah, it's a lot of things in one, isn't it, to take into consideration. Like, yeah, it's dimensional sort of thing, definitely.
What would be an example, Sheila, would you say, of a person maybe that you know or a circumstance where you could say, I can, or maybe just some examples of what self-care and self-love look like?
So, yeah, it's interesting. I like that question because I think we give people advice, and I found when I give a friend advice, sometimes their eyes will just glaze over and I'm like, oh, I've lost them because I'm not hitting the button. So I think you have to go within and find what makes you happy. And I think that involves sitting quietly and really thinking about happy moments. And sometimes they can be nostalgic because they might involve not having children or having a job with less stress or living in a different, you know, place. But it's tapping into the emotion and how you feel. And that's why I think the tribe around you can connect you into that. But examples are, I mean, I love going down and having a coffee and reading the paper sort of on my own. So I think a lot of people, if it's a bit of universal, but a bit of me time alone to go within, seems a bit of a universal theme, whether it's inaction alone or meditating. But I think that space to actually just center your mind seems to be quite universal. Even people that don't meditate, I find, just find they need alone time. And then from that stems, do I want to be alone walking on the beach, reading, you know, alone shopping, spending money, surfing the net, whatever it might be. But there's a need for us, we're communal people, but that alone time I think is quite important.
That's so important. I mean, for me, I know I keep
Definitely.
banging on about it, but Pete's retreat, for me, was my alone time. Even though there was a small group of us, it was so intimate and there was so much respect for our own personal space. That, to me, was a revelation to me that I need even more alone time.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I have to steal it from 7 to 9 o'clock at night when I get home from work, I don't want to answer the phone. I'm not going to return calls because that could go on. I could do that until 1, 2 o'clock every morning if I did. And I try to. I try to respond to everybody and everything, and it just gets crazy. So Pete's retreat, I think meditation is also good in an organised situation like that. Let's just do a little game before we finish up.
Sure.
And one example of self-care for a mum with 2 small children.
Ooh, look, I think I'm an aunt, so I'm not a mum. I'm going to just caveat that. But what I see with my sisters is just a need to not be with them but know they're okay. So self-love and self-care is spending a little bit of cash if you have it on a babysitter and doing something for yourself, and even away from your husband. That's what I've noticed. That's so it's an activity not related to husband, children or partner children, and it really is an activity you want to do that you kind of did before this came along. That's what I've noticed amongst my friends. It doesn't have to be a long time or even that frequent, just kind of...
The girls' night out.
The girls'
Bravo.
night out, the movie.
Kick the guilt to the curb.
Yeah.
All mothers should have, what is it, $40, $60, it might be $80 to get a babysitter. How worth it? Worthwhile is it to sanity to just have that little bit of a break?
Yeah,
and it doesn't necessarily even have to be with your husband or your partner. You might just want to go and hang out with a girlfriend.
And I'm not a mum, so what I'd love is promoting discussion on Facebook. So if you're a mum and you've learned yourself what self-love and self-care looks like,
we want your feedback about
share
this.
it with community, because we have to help each other.
Exactly. Okay, a person that's working at the top of their field, say a producer, a big television producer, because they've got people at them 24/7.
That's
So,
right. I remember what I was going to say now.
sorry?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
I remember what I was going to say now.
What were you going to say, Kate?
Well, I think sometimes because we're all so busy, going along with life, and for example, if I was a television producer, I'd love to be, I'd be working all the time. Sometimes I might need to sit down and remember my inner child. That is one thing about self-love and self-care that we all forget to do. Honour and remember our inner childs. So sometimes when you're sitting on the couch, close your eyes, just see yourself in a fun park or at the beach with yourself as a 3-year-old, okay? Now, pick that 3-year-old up, give them a cuddle, a kiss, tell them how much you love them, how clever they are, how beautiful and intelligent, everything. Give them all the compliments in the world. Go and have a swim with them, have a slide with them. Have fun and have a laugh. And then when you leave yourself with friends, because no one likes to be alone all the time, okay? And then when you open your eyes and, come back into your body and everything, all of a sudden you will feel so much better instantly, okay? It's like a big hole inside your stomach is just, being filled with love, unconditional love. So I think that's a really important thing that we all need to do at times.
And finally, I think a really big example of lack of self-love and lack of self-care is when people don't give themselves the time to heal if they get sick. That thing where I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job, or I don't want to let my co-workers down. And I see that a lot in my industry. I'm sure you guys do as well, where, they rock up and I've done it myself for years.
I've done it too. I feel like I'm still doing it
guilty of
sometimes. Yeah.
And I can, the headache and the fever and the whole thing, and you still rock up with the backs of tissues. That's self-love and self-care, and I've really only just learnt to do that in the last 18 months because I am older now and my body doesn't heal as quickly as it used to, and I just need to lay down in bed and zone out. It's the body just going, enough.
As a manager, I'm always impressed when my staff engage in self-care, because when you lead people, and if you are a good leader, you're not just looking out for the welfare of their work and how they complete their day and how they are from 9 to 5. You generally are looking out for their entire well-being. You bring your entire self to work. And so when you have staff that know how to take holidays, know how to leave on time, know how to manage themselves, it's a breath of fresh air, and it's fantastic. Watching great employees do that for me taught me I need to take care of myself. Because you get sick, you are out of action for a long time. And it creates a lot of worry for people around you at work. It's not just, it's a real concern for your well-being. And then they've got to think about themselves and you. It's like being a parent, you've got to think for two. So, taking care of yourself.
There's a lot of corporations in America, by the way, that Tom's Shoes was one of the first ones that started it, and they have Fun Fridays. Nobody works on Friday, or I correct myself, they stop at midday.
Yeah.
And they provide fun activities for them to do for the rest of the afternoon.
A great idea.
barbecues, trips out. Okay, so we have to move along. And just letting you know, guys, we are doing snapshot readings to get through the rest because we've almost wrapped up time-wise today. So just very quickly, and all of our readings have come through our voice message service. So we're very excited that we've got the ball rolling with this, and keep that ball rolling. Thank you so much, guys. 1900 990 990, and just call and leave a voice message for us with your name, your date of birth, your mobile phone number, and your question, and we will get back to you. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. All right, now let's move on to our viewer questions. We've got a few left. The messages that have come in on our message service. Over to you, Kay. We have Andrea. Andrea is born on the 14th of the 1st. Hello, fellow Capricorn, 1953. My mum passed away years ago and we were very, very close. I was hoping for her to connect with me through dreams or whilst I was asleep, but nothing's happening. Maybe I'm missing some of the messages, what's happening.
Okay, so it's the 14th of the 1st, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in. Right. Okay, when people cross over, they've got, everything works in a process, step-by-step process, okay? So when we cross over, we're going through a process, talking to our counsellors, seeing our soul families again, families that we had in a past life, right? So that may be why you don't feel the presence of your mother around you so much, because she's actually busy doing other things. But when you really need her, she will be around you. The fact that you're actually mourning her death still, it puts blinkers on. Okay, so try and take those blinkers off. Ask her for specific signs that she's around you. And I have to tell you, a lot of the times when you feel that you've dreamt of a loved one on the other side, it's actually been a visitation. And I do feel that your mother has visits you, okay, at night when you're asleep, and she's showing me a small animal on the end of your bed, black and white animal, okay? But that's what you need to think. You need to think, okay, well, I need to ask her for specific things. Turn a light on, turn the telly off while I'm watching it. For instance, my grandmother plays with the volume on my stereo. She turns it right up and I know she's around me and I can smell her sometimes. So ask for these things, ask for the smell of the cakes that she used to cook, or ask for a specific thing that means the most to you. All right, because she is around you. I'm seeing that from spirit, definitely. Oh, your grandmother is too, in a big way, okay? Mum's mum. So I feel that they're together on the other side. They're trying to communicate with you. So just ask for specific messages and signs and you will receive them. Just take the blinkers off, okay?
Great, thank you so much. Very cool. All right, now we have Vicky online on the phone.
Okay.
And she wants to chat with you, so I'm just going to take this off. Now, hi Vicky, how are you doing? Viv Summers.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Yeah, that's good. Now, Vicky, you just wanted some advice on your love life. I like your little question here, or you said lack thereof. Will I meet Mr. Right or even Mr. Anytime soon? I love that. And the last question is the guy I met on the weekend actually interested in me or just mucking me around? So I'm just going to pop you over to Sheila now. The birth date is, your birthday, Vicky, is the 16th of the 9th, 1975, correct?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, great. I'm just going to hand you over now.
Okay. Thanks, Vicky, for the reading. Thanks for calling through.
Thank you.
So, Vicky, the first thing I get for you is that just giving me, you've read a lot of self-help kind of romance books to really understand relationships, or I feel like you read or talk a lot about it. So it's been a subject matter that's confounded you for a while. And I think there's a level of trying to understand it. And I'm being told to tell you that men are from Mars and women are from Venus, as cliche as it sounds, and that the difference of men and women needs to be accepted by Vicky. Because when Vicky accepts it, Vicky can sit in the divine feminine, and Vicky can be the woman and let the man be. When I tune into the energy of the man, as I did, as you were speaking, Viv, before, I'm getting him scratching his head. So this man, I feel like, has been encouraged into a space where you met him, if it's online or some sort of social situation. And I feel like he's got a few quirky, he's kind of a quirky guy. I don't think he's the smoothest, mover in the room. But I think there's something very lovely and charming about his energy. He's scratching his head because I feel like he's the kind of guy who's a bit like you, and I think you've met your mirror. He doesn't quite understand women in the sense that you're a little bit confused by how men react to you or to react to things you say or do. So there's something that could be mastered by just allowing this to unfold, and I'm being told not to force it, but to demonstrate interest, because this man does need you to show him you're interested, because he'll kind of disappear if you don't. He does need signs and signals, but give him a signal and stand back and wait and let him walk towards you is what I'm being shown around him. I feel like if you get in touch with him, he'll like consult friends about what to do next. There's a youthfulness to him. There's a bit of a, I'm saying there's a maturity in who he is in his career and other aspects of life. I think he's financially sound. I think he owns property. I think he's very settled. But in terms of relationships, there's a little bit of, like, I don't like to use the word immaturity because because when he finds his feet, he can be quite mature in the relationship. We often, and I think this is for you, Vicky, struggle in the beginning of a relationship because so much fear and uncertainty comes up. We tend not to even be ourselves at the beginning of a relationship. It really takes a few months. I'm getting 4 months around this. So I feel like there could be 4 months where you actually reveal more of who you are to one another. I'm going to use the word pretense, and all the being and masks fall away. 4 weeks, 4 months. I'm getting more like 4 months. So give this man, I got a T before, did I get a T connected to his name? So I feel like there's something around him, T, that's pushing him. And I feel like he could have someone in spirit really helping him along. I feel like energy, actually, because I feel like for him, it's about time he met someone too. I will say that. So for you, Vicky, I feel like this could be an opening here, but I just want to tune into a bit more of your romance. Feeling like you might have had something recently, it might have been a bit short term, you're a little bit over short term, you're a little bit, that there's, okay, so feel like you're telling yourself things about experiences you've had, and it may not, the self-talk might not be always as positive as it could be. And I understand this, Vicky, you have relationships and we kind of remember the way they end, not the way they began, or the great things in the beginning. So I'm being told to tell you, how can you look back even some of the short-term things that you might have left going, gosh, why did that end that way? Or didn't see that coming, or not sure if I cut that off too soon or let it go too long. I don't know if you're doing online dating, but there's an opportunity to meet people and you've been doing a bit of dating. They're telling me to tell you, what did you learn and what was great about it? This is going to help lift your vibration. It is really important to lift your vibration when you're meeting new people because you match vibrationally. I've been told this, didn't always believe it, but I've had experience through a bit of dating myself to really understand that does work. There is something in that. You can turn up to multiple dates with different vibration levels and the same person will respond to you differently. And that does apply to you, Vicky. There's something in that. So before you go on the next date, I feel like you will go on more dates with this man. They're not giving me the outcome of it because it's yet to be decided by you. And that's really wonderful because you can experience real abundance by being a great version of you, Vicky. And there's learning and growth here as you go on this journey with what could be this man. And that's all it's giving me in respect to the future of it. But I think it's more like, the difference between men and women is what came through as an important message for you, Vicky. So how does that resonate when I say all of that?
Yeah, good. Something to work on there too.
There's something to work. And there's always something to work on ourselves in relationship. and this is another, I'm downloading quite a bit for you now, Vicky. So I feel like there's a need to read something around what are the realities, and Alan de Botton's coming through now about relationship, because I feel like there needs to be clarity about relationships. I feel like when it gets hard, you get very frustrated. You get frustrated quite easily. And there's a need for you to sit and go, this is really normal. This frustration's normal. We're at a point where we need to discuss something. But I feel like you go into frustration and disappointment fairly quickly. And so it's like, if you can learn to change the reframe, your vibrational match is going to come in much quicker to you. So do you think you can take that on board, Vicky?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Love's coming your way. I really feel it. I feel it. And I feel like if with this man by September or the last quarter of the year, it will develop into something strong. If not him and the learning there doesn't match for both of you, there will be another one. But I don't want to say that, because I really feel like we are masters of our own domain. I feel like you're on a learning journey. Like I said, I saw you read a lot. So I feel like you're going to continue nourishing yourself with information. And I feel like September, it keeps on coming up as this will take off. Whatever, by September, you're going to feel very settled in something.
Okay.
Okay, how does that sound?
Yeah, great.
Wonderful, Vicky. Thank you.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you.
Beautiful energy,
Bye-bye,
Vicky's got.
Vicky. Thank you.
Bye.
When we yearn for love, we do emit a certain kind of radiance, even if we don't have it. And people might say it's a desperation, but the need to love and be love is powerful when you're trying to bring in love. We can be a bit off-centre with how we're trying to manifest it and why is it not there. And that's why seeking out guidance and counselling and advice from friends could help us realign our thinking, because sometimes head gets in the way, but heart's really open. You know, Vicky's heart's very open, which is beautiful.
And sometimes the people that know you really well can feed back to you.
Yep.
You don't even really know that you're in that particular space.
Yep.
And sometimes it can just shake you out of it. Okay, thanks very much. That was great. All right, Kay, we've got Bella.
All right, Bella.
Bella's born on the 20th of the 8th, 1972. I'd like some guidance in regards to your job change. Been working in hospitality. However, I'd like to change careers because of the law changes with penalty rates. And I like working with people, but what can you see?
Okay, thank you. Thanks for tuning in, Bella, and giving us these questions tonight. Okay. I'm actually seeing business around you. So I would say that you're going to go to TAFE or some sort of place where you're going to get a piece of paper to get you to where you want to be. Okay, they're showing me books and study, but it's good and it's not going to be a long course, but I do feel it's business. I'm getting the feeling that you're going to be, for example, secretary, managing director secretary, well, there you go, in business, all right? High-end business people with dealing with a lot of money, okay? So that's the sort of thing that I'm seeing you doing in the future, but you really need to work on your self-confidence, because I feel that you put yourself down and you don't really believe that you can do a lot better than you do. Okay. There's a grandmother on your father's side, I feel, around you. She's trying to push you forward, because I feel that you've been, thinking about it for so long. You haven't really been doing anything about it. You've actually got to, get out and have a look. It's like getting into a helicopter, going for, a fly around and looking at all the other opportunities that are open to you. I do feel that you're going to change, definitely. Okay, so it's not going to be sort of a job that you can do with your eyes closed without thinking, a brainless job. It's like something you've actually got to train for and use your head, but you will love, okay? And that's actually coming up within the next 3 months. I'm getting around that. So, but you're actually going to be looking for it. Okay, it's not going to come to you and, land in your lap. You need to be quite clear about what you want. Think about what you've done in the past, all those jobs, all those things you've learned in the past, and that happens for a reason, to get you to where you're supposed to end up, all right? So, be really clear about what you want. Focus on what you're passionate about. Because if you don't do what you're passionate about, why go to work? Okay. And you will succeed when you're doing what you're passionate about and what you love, all right, every day. It's not like a job. They're showing me that you're going to actually be changing see here, there's no face. This woman's got no face. She needs to really think about what she was like in the past, think about what skills she wants to grow and use in the future, think about what countries, travelling, food, all the things that she didn't experience before. It's like experiencing now, and you're going to be a new person, and all your features are going to come out just really positive, really happy, okay? And you're going to have a lot of confidence and self-esteem. But you really need to go inside yourself and don't overthink too much. Just think, right, what do I love? I'm going to do that. What am I, what do you think about when you first wake up in the morning? All right. And use that to your advantage, because you've got a lot of really good ideas that you don't follow through with it because you don't think that you can, or you don't think that you're good enough. That's got to change. Okay?
Thank you. A lot of subjects, a lot of readings around the subject we talked about tonight, self-love and self-care. And often we get themes in an evening.
Yeah, and even
with
if
the
you're not having a reading, I like listening to other people's readings, because you find we channel a truth that resonates with a lot of the viewers, might be going through similar issues. So it is guidance from a higher source.
Yeah, definitely.
Some wisdom.
And good
so,
advice
yeah.
for us all to take. Okay, so we have the last reading for the evening.
Okay.
And for you, Sheila, this is Sandra.
Okay.
Sandra was born on the 23rd of the 3rd, 1965. I separated from my partner 8 years ago after a 15-year relationship. I've met someone who's 5 years younger than me. We get on well, but I have trust issues. Can you give me some guidance, please?
Okay. Look, Sandra, the first thing that comes through is your laugh. I think you have a loud laugh. And I think you like to laugh. And I feel like this gentleman, 5 years younger, is tapping into a youthfulness and a part of you that makes you really happy. And I think this is it's triggering you, and it's bringing up insecurities, because there's a part of you that goes, wow, this is too good to be true. And that's where the fear's coming in. So the flip side of fear is love, and you are actual experience. And I just wrote the word lust down. It did come across first as lust, but this could develop into something more, and you're feeling a sense of love for this gentleman. And I definitely see him looking at text messages and your communication. So I feel like this gentleman, 5 years younger, has come to you with a very open heart, and it's a bit too good to be true, a bit too open to be true. And I think the 15-year relationship I'm just seeing a bit of back and forth, and I think there was a heart opening, closing. But this gentleman, 5 years younger, they're showing his heart as very open, doesn't seem to close, and that's making you a little bit uncomfortable, because you're not used to that, and you're not quite believing this could be true at the moment, and it's bringing up the mistrust. I feel like there is a lovely boyish charm about this gentleman, and they're showing me you looking in the mirror, and you're stretching out bits of your face and going, looking at how you look. They're wanting me to tell you he looks at you. Tell me this is true, Sandra, please, on Facebook. He looks at you when you're asleep and when you wake up. and he sees beauty. He sees your beauty. You're going to have to remind yourself of this, Sandra, because I don't think you see it at the moment, and he sees it. And you need to look at the moment in the mirror and say, what does he see? I want to see what he sees. That's what Spirit's telling me to tell you. I feel like there's a potential for this relationship to develop past the lust phase. There's a lot of lust and passion at the moment. You're having a lot of fun. It is the chance to develop even more deeply. And I feel like you're going to hold space for him at some point. He's holding a bigger space for you at the moment. I will say that he's carrying a bit more of the stability of the relationship. Even though he's fun, there's a level of reliability with him in the sense that there's a consistency to his behaviour, and he's a bit older for his years. And at some time, this is going to flip where he's going to need some advice or counsel around something that you have experience in. This relationship will develop over time, and I see you at Christmas together, being together at Christmas. I see there's a real coming together of families, connections, friends. I see this for this year for you, if not further. Again, I like to give people the push now so they can move through the discomfort they feel and then allow them to experience the longevity of the relationship versus tell them it's going to be for life and they still sit in discomfort right now and not experience it presently in the abundance that you can have. Right now, open your heart to this man. His heart is open to yours. The fears you're experiencing are coming from within. I don't see them being real. I don't see this man cheating on you. There's something earnest about this man. There's a bit too good to be true and you're looking for the shadow, and I don't see it there. So, Sandra, all the best to you. You're going to have a lot of fun in this relationship.
Wow, there's a lot to laugh about there.
There is.
If it's a big laugh, go for it and enjoy it.
She enjoys life, and I think this guy's making him laugh and bring out the real, that youthfulness, that lightness.
I have to laugh. I did have a little look over and I saw that first word, lust.
Lust, I know.
I'm not saying anything unless she does. I'm not bringing that up, but why not?
Lust, you can have lust, you can have love, then lust.
Exactly.
You can have, but lust is a nice.
It is.
Lust does not mean lack of love. It just is a stage. You can have lust and love at the same time, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely.
So it's just the first thing that came through was that energy
that'll
of
be the
lust.
topic of discussion on next week.
There you go.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for tonight. Just a reminder that Monday, the 24th of July, we have Lisa Williams join us for the entire show doing readings. So if you'd like an opportunity to have a reading with Lisa Williams, please make sure that you call 1-900-990-990, the number on the screen. Follow the prompts. Now I want you to leave your name, your date of birth, and a specific question. If you want to be in the draw and you want to have a chance, you have to go through the viewer messages so that you have the opportunity of a reading with Lisa Williams on Monday, July 24. Once again, I also just would love to promote our Fraternity Club show this coming Friday, June 16 at 7:30 p.m. We get to hang out together for the night too. That's going to be brilliant. I'm so excited. $55 for the tickets on the AAY website. Now, you can also purchase tickets from the Fraternity Club website. That's www.fraternityclub.com.au. But if you want to purchase multiple tickets and get the fourth ticket after 3 purchase tickets for free, then you have to go through the AAY website to be able to be for that to be valid. So that's 3 tickets and the fourth one is free. Don't forget, guys, we're running out fast. We've only got 25 tickets left. We'd love to see you down there next Friday. It'd be great to meet some of our viewers in person. We're looking forward to it. A trip down to Melbourne. What a great way to kick off the weekend. Steve will be joining us. He'll be back with you guys next week after his break. I'm off to the US of A. Looking forward to that. And I'll be back on the Monday, the July 17 show. Look forward to it. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye, ladies. Thanks for tonight.
Thanks for having me.